And in Palestine, 365 days after the Israeli onslaught against Gaza, 175 journalists have been killed by the Zionist regime forces while doing their jobs and showing the world the truth of the genocide happening in the coastal enclave. Our correspondent Huda Hagazi has more on the detail.
Another of the main targets of the attack carried out by the Israeli army in this genocidal war against the Gaza Strip has been the journalistic sector, specifically the workers in the media. Since the beginning of this Israeli war, 175 journalists have been killed by the Israeli army when they were covering the events and reporting the truth to the world about the attacks and crimes that Israel has been carrying out here in the Gaza Strip. These attacks could be seen as a warning message that Israel does not want the world to know what they are doing. The murders and rapes of the innocent civilian population of the Gaza Strip. Also, Israel has been cutting off communications for several weeks in a row here in the Gaza Strip to prevent media workers from being able to convey the truth to the world. And this can be considered another warning message to us. During all this Israeli war, we have felt the fear that at any moment we can be killed. We can be bombed, even though there is an international law that covers and protects us, and especially because this vest we are wearing is supposed to be a sign of protection for the Israeli army. But as we can see, Israel does not comply with any international law, and we have been the main target of bombing and shelling in this war. And regarding my personal experience as a journalist and as a Gazan covering this genocidal Israeli war, I can say that it has been one of the most difficult years of my life, both personally and professionally. To say that this war has not been like previous wars or escalations, to say that it has been a consecutive year, 365 days, covering day by day the Israeli genocides and atrocities. We have been subjected to the same difficulties that the Gazans have been subjected to. We have found ourselves without shelter, without food, without water, without even access to a toilet, and therefore we as journalists have suffered the same hardships that the rest of the Gazans. I have been covering this war while separated from my family, since my family did not want to evacuate the north. They stayed there, and because of my work and my responsibility to cover and show the truth of the situation here, I had to go with my team to the south, where I have been moving through different governorates from Khan Yunis to Rafah, and now in the area of Deir al-Balah. Above all, to face this kind of circumstances alone has been very complicated, having to face, especially as a woman, many conditions and many situations alone has been quite complicated. Even at the beginning, I had no place to take shelter, no place to live, and I spent 7 months living in a car. Now I am living in a very small tent, so to say that for me personally it has been very complicated and difficult, but I have always had something in mind. I have always had a goal, and that is to never give up, to continue covering the atrocities carried out by Israel, to continue showing the world the truth of what Israel is doing against the Gaza Strip. That is why I'm still standing. And my goal is to continue covering this war, but my desire is that this war ends as soon as possible.